Hey guys, this is part 1 in my series on the CFOP method, and today I'm going to teach you how to do F2L. So the reason why I'm doing F2L for part 1, even though it comes second in the CFOP method, is because if you do cross on bottom, and then you don't know F2L yet, then you'll have to turn the cube back over to do the corners how you usually do for beginner's method, and then turn it back over to do the edges. So I'm just going to have you solve the cross on top first, and then just flip it once to go straight into F2L. And then when you learn advanced cross, you can just solve it on the bottom and not have to flip it all. So I'm just going to show you the easiest ways to pair up a corner and an edge, and then later on you can learn more advanced ways. And I wouldn't recommend learning F2L algorithms at first, but you can learn them later when you get faster. So here we have a corner, and the cross color is not on top, it's on the side. So I'm going to show you how to pair it up with this edge, which is supposed to go right next to it right here to make a pair. So what we're going to do is, since the top color of the corner and the top color of the edge match, then all we have to do is pull the corner down like this with the other color that's not the cross color in front. So pull it down like this, and then we put the edge next to where it's going to come up, and so when it comes up, they're a pair. And now we can just put this in the slot it has to be in by putting the back of it to the slot, and then pulling this up, putting it in, and then putting it back down. So we've solved one F2L slot. Next I'm going to show you how to do it where the top colors are not the same. So basically what you're going to do for this case is, if it's like this, or like this, where the edge is either on the same side or on an adjacent side, then you're going to have to hide the corner like this, and then put the edge on the opposite side, and then push the corner back up so that they're on opposite sides like this. And then what you're going to do is put the corner over the slot that you have to put the pair in, and then you're going to push the corner up so that it pairs up with this edge. I'll just show you that from the other view. You're going to push this up so that it pairs up with this edge, and now it's like this slot is already open, so you can just put this over the slot and then push it back down, and we've solved two F2L slots. Now I'm going to go over that way one more time. So here we have a case where the edge and the corner are flipped, but the edge is in the same side as the corner, so I'm just going to pull the corner down and then move the edge to the other side, push it back up. Now they're on the opposite side, so I can just push the corner up so they're paired up, and then put the pair over the slot and then push it back down. And now I'm just going to show you this way one more time. So both the colors are matching, so we can just hide the corner and then put the edge next to where it's going to come up and then push it back up. Now they're a pair, and then we can put the back of the pair to the slot, push this up, put this in, and then push this back down. Okay, so now I'm going to go over what you need to do if the cross color is facing up. The first thing you could do is put this piece over a slot that isn't solved yet, and then push that slot up, and then bring this out of that side, so when you pull this back down, this will be not on the top, it'll be on the side, and then you can just do one of the ways I showed you before, like pulling this down, putting this over here so they're a pair, and then putting it in. But there's another way you can do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the edge that it has to be paired up with, and if it's not in the top layer, then you're just going to put this up and then move it out of the way and then put it back down so it's in the top layer. And then you're going to pair it up with the color that matches on the side, and you can see that it has to go into this slot, but what we're going to do is push it away from the slot it has to go into, and then we can put this over this piece, so when we push it back down they're a pair and we can put them in the slot just like we did with the other ones. So I'm just going to show you that one more time. With this case, these are already together but they're not paired up correctly, so we're going to have to break them up first. So I'm just going to pull this down, move the edge out of the way, push it back up. Now I'm going to pair up the side of the edge with its color and then push it away from the slot it has to go into, and then when we put the corner over top, then push it back up, they'll be a pair, and then we can put it in. So the last thing I wanted to cover in this video is when you're pulling down a corner piece to hide it to move the edge around. If you pull it down in a spot where on the other side there's a solved pair, then when you move the edge around, then you're going to mess up that pair. So you have to always pull it down where there's an unsolved slot on the other side, so you can move the edge freely in the top layer without messing anything up. So you just have to be aware of that, because when you first start it's really easy to mess stuff up. And I'm going to give a couple more examples of that. If I have, well, first I have to solve one, because when you're on your first one then you can do it anywhere. So if I have this one solved, and I have to pull this corner down because they're together but they're not solved, I have to pull this corner down and move this edge to a different spot. But I can't do it with this one in the back. I have to do it with an unsolved slot in the back, so I can move this edge freely without messing anything up. So once I move the edge, I can put the edge and corner together, and then that one is solved. So if I go to this one, I have to pull this down and move the edge, but I can't do it right there because there's a solved slot right there. So I'm going to do it with this one in the back because it's not solved. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and then also when I am pulling this down to put this together, then I can't do it right there because I'll mess that up. So I have to do it with a messed up slot on the other side, and then these are a pair and I can put them in. And for the last one I have to do it with this slot because this is the only unsolved slot in the back when I pull this down and put this over, and then I can put this back up, and then I can put these together and put them in like that. And after F2L is done, then the first two layers are solved and you move on to OL. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.